coach. They did not have the balance he would have expected the last time these two teams met. He described it as a track meet. He doesn't want to see that kind of energy up and down the field, especially on a wet day here, and they could attack in the counter so impressively, specifically with Celo de Poco. And yes, it took two magical moments for them to get their goals, but their defense stayed firm most of the time, and they were really an
sense of security, and then pounced.
SIUE's pouncing right now.
Tried the crafty back heel pass. Sanfiliu coughs it up, and it's cleared away by Incarnate Word. A short clearance.
Now they're back on the attack, looking to take some of that space down the left side as rain continues to pour down. And Jake, I think you saw that come to play on that set piece. They got the ball to slide off that turf. You own a turf to your advantage when you can with set pieces. Put a ball on frame. If it redeflects off a teammate, then fantastic. If it doesn't, then you're testing the keeper regardless. And we saw with that confusion, no specifics as to why that goal was called off aside from offsides. But the actual logistics of what in particular that offside was and how it came to be, we're not quite sure just yet.
After the goal from SIUE wiped out, it is this year.
And I don't think it's an overstatement to say that he had himself quite a career night in the quarterfinal. Multiple saves in crunch time, and also beyond the tangible differences that he made on the stat sheet, it's his organization at the back and his ability to consistently communicate with his back line that set him apart, and certainly played a
Gibson left that pass short through the middle, wanted Bilyeu. They're a prime example of how a steady drizzle like this, a steady downpour, can change the way this match is played.
And that's in the physical sense. In the mental sense, when you're just getting beat down by that rain for 30, 40.
Torre back in October.
He's going to be busy again tonight, I've got to imagine. He was already busy in one instance. You could call it luck. You could call it great defensive discipline. But they get the offside call on what
changed the way this pitch is played.
It has been, and it's been different in the last 20 minutes alone. And like I mentioned, it changed things physically for sure. We saw in our first semifinal a free kick opportunity, and I'm sure a couple of Incarnate Word families as well.
Another takeaway in the midfield for UIW. That's been their strong suit so far in this OVC Men's Soccer Championship, is domination in the middle.
And it seems like they haven't been fazed by anything either. I mean, you're going to see their patience if somebody gets thrown. It doesn't matter what you throw at them. They're able to adapt to any situation on the pitch, and that includes the weather in this case. Difficult to be done in conditions like this. The rain significantly picking up at this point. An update from the press box. We have slid that door closed. We've got a little crack to get some air in here, but that wind was blowing some rain into the booth. We can feel the conditions in all case scenarios.
Teams, Daniel, they like to try, we've seen SIUE, the long balls over the top to try to stretch the pitch. That's difficult when you're playing in conditions like this.
100%. And I think there's going to be a whole nother layer to this matchup in particular, given the conditions. I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error, and you have two teams that are fully equipped to do that. On the SIUE side, you have a team that is well-balanced.
Takes of now the West Virginias, the Notre Dames, who was in the College Cup final last year, the Marshalls, who have national championships. Clemson leads the way with 89. When you're mentioned in that type of company, that's special.
It's all about building a foundation, and he talks constantly about how difficult it is to build that foundation. Years ago, and my first bronze boot match was the first one held at City Park, and it held, formerly named City Park, I should say, and SIUE gave SLU a great game. I'm swinging a different direction, but sometimes it's a bit more pronounced, and SIUE is certainly showing that they're trying to shift the momentum their way right now.
Headed back down and off, has continued carrying on.
And that's all credit to SIUE. Incarnate Word is trying to pressure them high off the pitch, similar to what they just did right there.
Counter-attacking opportunity for the Cardinals. Laid off, out wide, it's Robles. Gives it up to Merritt in the middle. OVC second teamer this season is Miles Merritt. And De La Torre, 5 saves against SIUE in October. A massive save there to keep it locked at 0-0.
Possession, allowing themselves to get out quickly and get in transition and try to pick up the tempo. SIUE, when they take those punches, they're giving them right back, though. It's just give and take. If that press from
Taken away by the Cougars again. Pressure applied by Zomenio. And here comes SIUE. Tried to roll that through, and it was deflected away. It's 1-0 SIUE. Back underway. The Cougars are so dangerous.
Home over in St. Charles, home of the Lindenwood Lions as well. We see them exit the tournament today. We'll see who exits the tournament in this matchup as well. Somebody's punching their ticket to the men's final in the OVC Men's Soccer Championship.
Fouls even, 7 apiece. Ansa, no options going forward, has to guide this back to Padilla. Teamer this season. Baker lifts it forward. Cougars first to it. A short clearance, though. And Merritt works it to the outside to Elizalde. Backtracking. And now Ansa trying to shake free of Coleman on this near touchline. These Cardinals, they'll switch it to the outside. They've had success unbeaten in their last. Worked up ahead to Pauly again. Through the middle. Karolzak tries to knife to the inside and has it knocked away by Padilla. Padilla puts a right foot behind it. One back by SIUE and headed on. Cougars knocking on the door. Karolzak tries the cross. Has it blocked away. Word. Pauly off the head of Roshane Baker. And Incarnate Word will try to build from the back here. They have been better about this during the OVC tournament, but in this position of the pitch, 17% of their ball losses this year have come in their own defensive third. That's an area that SIUE will try to exploit, especially in the second half.
And it looks like that's exactly what SIUE is doing. Yes, Incarnate Word, they're able to attack you in different ways, but every team has strengths and weaknesses, and building up slowly in possession is not necessarily Incarnate Word's calling card. SIUE is going to invite that pressure on and try to find their opportunities. They are content with that ball being recycled back like they are right now. Be content with sitting back, keeping their shape, and more importantly, keeping those outlet balls away from Incarnate Word. That's how Incarnate Word wants to beat you. SIUE is going to take that away.
The whistle sounds, and we are back underway. 45 minutes to send one of these sides to the 2024 OVC Men's Soccer Championship Final.
Looks like they're going with an outswinger.
This ball hooked into the penalty spot, headed away by the Cougars. And worked back on by Incarnate Word.
Comfortable from SIUE defensively. I didn't like the delivery on the part of Incarnate Word, a missed opportunity in my book. But one thing I would like to see more from Incarnate Word in terms of urgency on the part of their attack in the second half build-up.
Laid off through the middle. There's a challenge applied by Abial, and it's won back by SIUE. Short-lived for the Cougars.
The weather, SIUE fans coming out to support, and there were a couple more claps as soon as he got up and off the pitch. I'm sure they're relieved.
Scherer back on the pitch to rejoin the Cougars. SIUE.
This is important for SIUE. You got to maintain your shape.
Left back off for Ansa.
So impressive by SIUE, though, on that last set piece. Again, we talk about so often second phase, third phase. All those black jerseys coming up for that set piece, they're not automatically back on defense once that ball is outside the box. They're still floating around, and a defense. I would have liked to have seen him keep it low, use the slickness of the pitch to see if he can get a ball skipping, pick up speed as it reaches the keeper, but a good shot attempt nonetheless.
The rain has finally stopped here at Ralph Cordy Stadium, has moved out of the area, and that was what slowed this game down so significantly in the first. Navarillo throws it in. Merritt now plays this into the middle. That's Roshane Baker. With it, Karolzak looking for the whistle, and Jake Karolzak won't get it.
So impressive defensively, but SIUE is going to love this. Coach described his team as a one gentleman shout. Come on, guys. Perhaps he's our new correspondent in the stands today. Not thrilled with how SIUE looked on that last possession.
Lifted forward and ahead. Now guided back. Cale Wasserman, another thing that he shared with us this week, the belief that his staff has in the idea that if you're one-dimensional in college soccer, you're not going to go very far. He says they try to not be one-dimensional, said that there are too many external factors at the college level, and teams will punish you if you're one-dimensional.
Zone. He's probably already being recruited by the MLS, or potentially he's playing overseas. The collective is so much more important in college soccer in particular compared to most sports.
Incarnate Word has tried their hand at some of those long passes that they had so much success with against Liberty, but SIUE's defense has had an answer each time. This is Ansa.
You typically see them building up down the sides of the pitch, trying to attack the middle there just to suck in those white jerseys and then hit a quick pass to the outside to get a one-on-one opportunity. But here's
currently coexist, and they continue coexisting. They are finding their own footing. SIUE, a prime example of this, a guy like Tyler Sargent, the academy, but still playing Division I college soccer. There is a balance to be struck on all sides.
And there can be flexibility in that too, and I think that's smart on the part of the U.S. Soccer Federation. At St. Louis University, now with the Columbus Crew, has seen time with the national team as well. If you're talking about a St. Louis area goalkeeper, regardless of where they came from, if they're playing in the area, they've got a chance to
for UIW.
And it really just feels like it's coming off of playing with pace, playing with intent. Incarnate Word trying to find a rhythm, and right now they're doing it. SIUE losing a bit of that control they've been so comfortable. They have a unique perspective. They are the only player on the pitch that can see the entire field in front of them. That just means they have to be the very best communicators.
Looking to roll this in behind and
to hold on to that ball, but to anticipate that move, so impressive.
Jay Lee needed all 6'2" of that frame of his to make the grab. Work back to the far touchline. It's Ansa out wide. Slipped back through, looking for Navarrillo. Cleared, making their way down the pitch.
And they're doing so in a way they've shown throughout the year. This is a bit more characteristic. Yes, playing in possession, if they've got to do it, it's going to be on the touchlines. They'll create little triangles, and those one-touch passes you're seeing on the far side of the field